On New Year's Eve, I was working overtime at a mall. Then, I saw my girlfriend rent out the mall's largest digital billboard to pressure a poor student into marrying her. I was about to go over and question them when the poor student responded emotionally. Getting confessed to in my family's mall is so romantic and meaningful. Silly boy, I've loved you for 5 years. Of course, I was going to propose. So marry me, okay? Then, they kissed passionately amid a chorus of cheers. They even won the mall's Best Couple award that night. I smiled bitterly and volunteered to present the award to them. I wanted to see just what would happen when trash found trash. Chapter 1. I was in a daze when I saw my girlfriend, Hannah Jennings, on the digital billboard. She was wearing elaborate makeup. A colleague next to me elbowed my arm and said, "Gosh, this woman is really going all out. Renting this digital billboard on New Year's Eve has to cost at least $10,000 for just half an hour." I heard she already booked this billboard with our leasing team a whole month ago. She really can't wait to marry her boyfriend. I was in disbelief. Hannah said she was traveling to a different city for business tonight and would not be back until next month at the earliest. Yet there she stood in front of Damon Sheeran, the impoverished student my family had sponsored, acting like a desperate, lovesick puppy. I told Hannah before that I worked at a mall. She never asked which one. Come to think of it, that was ridiculous. She probably never cared. When there were only 5 minutes left until the New Year's countdown, Hannah pulled out a diamond ring the size of a pigeon's egg from her purse. She sobbed and said, "Damon, I can't wait any longer. I want to marry you." The mall's ceiling lights blazed on. Colorful balloons descended from the ceiling. Screams erupted from the crowd around me. The most ironic part was that I had stayed up several nights in a row to finalize the proposal for this very event. I only knew there would be a grand marriage proposal event around midnight tonight. However, I never imagined that the person who would propose would be my girlfriend of 6 years. Damon's silhouette was backlit. He touched Hannah's face. "Hannah, what am I supposed to do with you?" The crowd below began to chant, "Propose, propose." A colleague looked envious and whispered, "I heard the guy is the mall owner's son, a rich heir and a rich girl. They're such a perfect match." The mall owner's son? Did I have a brother I was not aware of? Seeing Damon frozen in place, Hannah simply put the diamond ring on her own finger. "Damon, I've been planning this for a long time. Only this one-of-a-kind diamond ring deserves a love like ours." My breath caught in my throat when I saw the close-up shot of Hannah's hand. That ring was clearly the one my father had specially bid on at an auction last month to give to me. I had planned to use it to propose to Hannah. How dare she steal my ring to propose to another man? Damon became so emotional that he stumbled over his words. He said in a choked voice, "I never thought you'd propose to me here. This is where the Sheeran family built their business. My dad is going to be so happy when he finds out. Our 5 years together have finally paid off. How ridiculous. The two of us had been together for 6 years, while they had been cheating for 5. At that moment, my blood ran cold. They had hidden this from me well enough. "Hannah Jennings, will you marry me?" Damon asked at the top of his lungs. Hannah nodded vigorously. After the successful proposal, the mall staff followed the prearranged plan and set off a confetti cannon. Hannah cried out in surprise and threw herself into Damon's arms. The two then kissed passionately in front of envious onlookers, as if no one else was there. The midnight bell rang. Gorgeous fireworks lit up behind them. The mall's public address system announced at the right moment, "Congratulations to this beautiful couple for winning our mall's Best Couple prize." The prize is a 5-day, 4-night luxury honeymoon trip worth $20,000. I took a deep breath and said to my colleague, "I'll present the award to them." I picked up the prize voucher and walked toward the two of them. They were still gazing deeply into each other's eyes and did not notice me at all. I said coldly, "Congratulations, Ms. Jennings." Chapter 2. Hannah spun around when she heard my voice. Her expression completely changed as she stumbled back a few steps in panic. "Andrew, why are you here?" Before I could speak, she frowned and accused me. "I told you I was busy tonight. You actually followed me?" She paused, then said in an even harsher tone, "Do you not realize how suffocating this is for me?" I was amused by how ridiculous this was. I pointed at the mall and said, "I think you've got the wrong idea. I work here." A few days earlier, I had already seen Damon at the mall. Back then, I was in charge of setting up the event decorations. There was no way he did not know I was an employee of this mall. However, he still acted shocked. He put on an innocent face and said, "Andrew, you didn't check Hannah's phone and find out she was coming here tonight, did you?" Hannah's expression turned darker as Damon continued. "By the way, don't overthink what happened tonight. I asked Hannah to do this. It's just a little wish of mine. You've always been the bigger person, haven't you?" I laughed inwardly. Then I said in a calm yet mocking tone, "I really am the bigger person. So I've made up my mind. I don't want Hannah anymore. She's all yours." "Andrew," Hannah yelled. The crowd all turned to look at her. She quickly put on her gentle demeanor again. She lowered her voice and said, "That's enough. You know Damon has depression, so stop being so aggressive." The large digital billboard continued to show close-ups of Damon and Hannah's expressions. This caused the customers in the mall to talk among themselves. Seeing this, my colleague frantically signaled me with his eyes from offstage. For the sake of the mall's reputation, I had no choice but to suppress my anger and stuff the prize voucher into their hands. "Congratulations, you two. You two deserve each other." Hannah tried to reach for me, but Damon pulled her back. He then lowered his head and gave Hannah a gentle kiss on the lips. "Thank you, Hannah." The event ended smoothly. By the time I finished cleaning up everything at the mall, it was nearly 2 in the morning. When I left the mall, I saw Hannah and Damon outside. They still had not left. Hannah was sitting in the passenger seat. Her eyes were red. She had clearly just been crying. She started to get out of the car when she noticed me. Damon, however, stepped in front of me first. "Andrew, it's my fault. I shouldn't have let Hannah. I thought everyone could take a joke." Hannah looked at Damon and seemed guilty. "Andrew will understand. The real issue is you. You waited out here with me for so long, and you were already feeling sick." I stood there frozen as I stared at her and sneered. "A joke? Who uses an open-mouth kiss to tell a joke? How about this? Come tell me it's a joke when you two have a kid. Does that sound good?" Then I pointed at the ring on Hannah's finger. "There's no use keeping that piece of trash around. We're over. Give me back the ring." Upon hearing my words, Damon walked up to Hannah, took off her ring, and threw it into the bushes. "If you're going to be jealous of me, then just pretend I never proposed. Are you happy now?" I watched helplessly as that diamond ring rolled into the bushes. I became enraged as I said, "Damon, what's wrong with you? You couldn't pay for this ring even if you sold yourself." When Hannah heard me yelling at Damon, she rushed over and scolded me. "Why are you yelling? This ring clearly looks like a cheap flea market item. Do you have to make Damon depressed just to feel better about yourself?" I could not suppress my anger anymore. I raised my hand and slapped Hannah hard across the face. "That was my ring. You don't get to judge it." Hannah was stunned by the slap. Damon also shoved me aside and tightly hugged her. Then he yelled at me, "Andrew, fine, hate me if you want, but how could you lay your hands on Hannah? That's way out of line. Do you have any idea how much emotional pressure she's been under because of you? She's been putting up with you this whole time." I was so angry that I laughed. I pointed at her and said, "Emotional pressure? I gave her designer bags and sports cars. What emotional pressure does she have?" Hannah turned so livid that veins bulged on her forehead. She gritted her teeth and said, "Don't think I don't know. You bought all that stuff with loans just to keep up appearances. You went through all that trouble just to trap me, didn't you?" She thought I bought them with loans, yet she used them without any guilt. She paused, then said in contempt, "You're just a poor student that Damon's family sponsored. He told me everything. I only kept quiet to protect your dignity." I jerked my head up and stared at Damon in disbelief. Then I asked in a low, deliberate voice, "Are you sure I'm the poor student your family sponsored?" Chapter 3. Damon got choked up. "Andrew, I know you have a lot of pride. I know everyone has their secrets, but isn't Hannah your girlfriend? What difference would it make if you just told her?" I scoffed, knowing full well that arguing with them would only waste my breath. "Damon, your father has been the butler in my family for so many years. Is he keeping a secret from you? My dad is extremely protective of his own family members. If he finds out about this, what do you think will happen?" Damon looked anxiously at Hannah. "That's not true, Hannah. Andrew is probably just trying to find a way to protect his ego." Then he sighed softly. "Forget it. Whatever makes him happy." Seeing this, Hannah quickly comforted him. She said, "He's always been this fake and pretentious. Just don't pay attention to him." I could not be bothered with the two of them anymore. I started crouching down in the bushes to look for the ring. That ring was something my father spent over $500,000 on at an auction. Even if I could not use it to propose to Hannah in the end, it was still not something that should be thrown away so casually. After searching for some time, behind me, Hannah let out a scornful laugh. Just what you'd expect from a poor scholarship kid who doesn't know how to act in public. Making a huge scene over a piece of glass. Still searching, I said, "You can't even tell a diamond from a piece of glass. No wonder you fell for Damon." "You." Hannah's face turned bright red from rage. She shouted, "Damon is the son of the owner of the mall where you worked. Aren't you afraid of getting fired for treating him like this?" "I'm only doing this for your own good." Suddenly, a shiny object caught my attention. I quickly picked it up, blew on it, and put it into my bag. I turned and saw Damon looking at me with his arm crossed. He then sneered disdainfully and said, "Andrew, if you had just said you liked it, I would have given it to you. Why make yourself look so pathetic and embarrass yourself like that?" I quickly got into the sports car, closed the door, and locked it in one smooth motion. This car was still mine. Damon and Hannah were stunned. I rolled down the window and scoffed. "Did you really start thinking you're the one in charge after I supported you for all those years?" I was referring to Damon, and even more so to Hannah. After saying that, I stepped on the gas and drove away in a flourish. The next morning, I realized Hannah had been calling me all night long. When I opened the door to go out, I saw her standing outside, looking angry. She grabbed my wrist and almost shouted, "Go apologize to Damon now. You took the car last night, so Damon got sick. He's been running a high fever all night because of you." I laughed exasperatedly. What does my taking my own car have to do with him? He gets sick, and that's my fault. Hannah tightened her grip on my hand, and she forcibly dragged me outside. "You're the one who hurt Damon. You have to go take care of him yourself and apologize to him. Mr. Sheeran is furious. He's at the hospital right now, waiting for you to come and make amends. Let's go." "Mr. Sheeran? Wait a second. Could Damon actually be my father's illegitimate son?" I shook my head. I trusted my father. I decided to go with Hannah. I wanted to see exactly who gave Damon the audacity to falsely claim my identity. On the way, I sent a text message to my father. Arriving at the hospital, before I even got close to the hospital room, I heard a man yelling, "How dare someone bully my son? Don't let me find out who it is." Hannah quickly pushed me inside. "Mr. Sheeran, this is him. I brought him here to apologize to Damon." The so-called Mr. Sheeran turned to see me. He was instantly speechless. At that moment, my father also rushed over in a panic. He said anxiously, "You little punk, are you trying to start some nasty rumor about your own dad? Where would I even get an illegitimate son from?" As soon as he finished speaking, the two Mr. Sheerans stared at each other. The air instantly turned tense. Chapter 4. I pointed at Damon lying in the bed and sneered. "What rumor am I starting? Isn't this the son of a 51 Plazas owner? Hearing this, my father's expression darkened. His gaze swept over Damon and his father, the butler who had worked for my family for over 10 years, Joshua Sheeran. The atmosphere was very tense. Then a group of people bursts in. I recognized them all as executives from the mall's office. The company had undergone reforms at the start of the year and hired many new people. They would not recognize my father. As soon as they saw Joshua, they greeted him respectfully. They swarmed around him with all kinds of expensive, fancy health gifts. Mr. Sheeran, is Damon okay? Gosh, this is our fault. We'll definitely hold the responsible employees accountable. Hannah grabbed me and pulled me over. It's him. He works for your company. He took my car and made Damon stand outside in the cold wind all night because he was jealous. My father's face turned ashen. He pulled me back to his side and looked sharply at Hannah. Aren't you Drew's girlfriend? Hannah glanced at me sarcastically. You actually dare to bring your own father here? Aren't you afraid of giving him a heart attack? Then she walked smugly over to Damon. Don't get it wrong. I don't have a materialistic boyfriend like him. I'm Damon's fiancée. Only a poor student keeps chasing after things that don't belong to him. He bothered me for 6 years. Now it's time to teach him a lesson. By the way, he must have taken out a lot of loans over the years, right? You must have worked so hard to pay them off, but I'm not going to be such a fool. Although I already knew Hannah was a wench, hearing her say that still made my heart ache. Over the years, I gave her countless things. Even the $10,000 she used to propose to Damon came from me. She got it bit by bit over time. Yet she described it as loan money used to fake a rich image. My father picked up his phone and said coldly, since you say he drove off with your car, let me call the police for you. Joshua looked at my father, trembling all over. H, how about we just drop this? Damon jerked his head up and looked at Joshua in disbelief. Dad, what are you talking about? Why should we forget it? He pointed at me and yelled, isn't he just the poor kid our family sponsored? Our family has supported him for years. We've already done more than enough for him. On top of that, I seriously suspect he's a thief. Where would some poor kid get a diamond ring? Shut your mouth. Joshua turned and gave Damon a fierce glare. His voice was low and hostile. Meanwhile, those executives who had no idea what was really going on pointed at me and said harshly, Andrew, right? Don't bother coming in tomorrow. I smirked. You sure? Are you actually firing me? Joshua panicked. He quickly changed his tone as he said, no. That's not necessary at all. Andrew is a very capable kid. Hannah, however, laughed. Then she said sarcastically, capable? I've known him for 6 years. How come I never saw it? I know him too well. Other than putting on a fake act, he's completely useless. My father's expression had turned terrifyingly dark. He was on the verge of losing his composure. Damon, however, still held onto Joshua's hand. He had a wronged, innocent look on his face. Dad, did Andrew get some kind of blackmail material on you at work? Why are you defending him like this? Just as he said that, Joshua struck Damon hard across the face and yelled, I told you to shut your mouth. Stop talking already. For a moment, the entire room fell completely silent. Damon covered his face. He then burst into tears. Dad. Hannah threw herself into Damon's arms and asked in disbelief, Mr. Sheeran, even if Damon was wrong, you didn't have to hit him like that. He's your son. He's the only heir to the Sheeran family. Joshua pointed at Hannah and trembled as he shouted, You get out of here. 2, you don't get to speak in this room. Hannah tightly grabbed Joshua's hand and spoke firmly. Mr. Sheeran, Damon already proposed to me, and I said yes. We're serious about our relationship. Oh, please. Last night she told me it was just a joke. At this moment, she claimed it was serious? My father glared fiercely at Joshua. Joshua fell to his knees with a thud, leaving everyone completely stunned. With his head still lowered, Joshua said in a trembling voice, And Mr. Sheeran, I'm sorry.